Hello, we're here. It's time, finally. Alright, I've put this off a little bit just because there's like so obviously Nova's a lot. There's a lot to talk about Nova, but I've also like this is like the point where Nova really started to kick off, in my opinion. Like, oh my god, all of these movesets are like, I think probably some of the best movesets Scap has like ever made, and that's even like including like all of the buffs a lot of these older characters have received that we've kind of just briefly discussed. So I'm very, very, very excited to talk about this. Before we go too far though, I do want to take a moment and say I'm pretty sure at some point a new moveset will come out for Law Nova. So whenever that happens, I will obviously like re-tier those characters in like a catch-up video. I'll do a whole thing for that, not just for Nova, but like just throw a couple other movesets in there while I'm at it. And I mentioned it before. I'm not sure actually if I mentioned it yet, but I do actually plan on splitting up the So Good tier. I want to make a special tier in another video soon, and put the most exceptional like Law movesets there. Just because I feel like some of these So Good movesets, there should be like, I need to reorder these obviously. And speaking of reordering, whenever I split this up, I'll also make that very same video a video where I re-tier a bunch of characters, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think there definitely are a couple spots I would change at this point. I've even mentioned I wanted to adjust some Nova spots already. But for right now, we will get into Nova Part 2. And we'll start off with probably the weirdest one, Crack Figure. Crack Figure is weird to talk about. He was already kind of pretty good before. I feel like he was fine. His moveset video, I feel like it's one of the ones where I haven't really talked about it much at this point, but while these movesets are great, I think this is where like some small issues started cropping up. I think one of them is the music choices for some moveset videos. I think the one for Crack Figures is very grating. I get that's the point, that's the joke. It's in all of his taunts for a good reason, obviously. But it is kind of annoying. Other than that, though, wow, like all of his special moves are really great. Like this is a character that has like another item gimmick, but with the Fanta, where he can keep picking it up and throw it around. He can heal himself with it, but he can also toss it and make it explode and turn big for big damage. These are some really good applications, and like item mechanics are like not. When I say item mechanics, I mean something different from like a Toon Guybrush, where he just has something he can throw, and he has a lot of things he can throw. Item gimmicks like this are like you can just pick it up and throw it around, and it has like item physics. Like tapping A button will just make you naturally have this. It's such a weird thing, but it has a lot of good utility. You can make your character very nice. He also has like the up B that used to be kind of whatever. It got turned into a really good recovery now. I think it's definitely one of the actually nicest looking recoveries. I like it a lot. I will say, I didn't really talk about it before because I know Samuel Jackson had a good move, had a good final smash, but I feel like the Crack Figure's final smash feels weirdly kind of to me. A couple of characters kind of have some very similar final smashes. I feel like it's similar to Joel's as well, where thing falls from the sky onto the stage. It's a little I'm not too crazy about it. I do like all the kind of weird ball moves he has where he can throw, like the slow-mo. They're very funny effects. I like them a lot. I think this character is definitely better in motion. Like when you just watch the moveset video, it's kind of he's alright. He's not crazy. He's funny. But when he's in motion, I think is when he really shines. I actually think like at some point I also want to make just a separate tier list of all like the stick figure characters. I just feel like they're all very different, but Crack figure, he's nice. I like him. He's not bad. I don't know if he's fantastic or anything. I think he's just kind of neat. Like, he's a cool idea. I like all the gags he has. But it's... I don't know. There's definitely some weird things about it. Like, the Final Smash, it's compared to a lot of their Final Smashes, this feels very... it's whatever. And also, being a stick figure inherently means that you're going to have very limited, like, ult potential. Although this one has like, some good colored ones. And I think, he's definitely gotten better over time. I like him. Not Crack figure, we just talked about him. Vine Sauce Joel. Joel is so cool. Joel's another one of those movesets that the original creator has actually seen. I think that's cool. Joel's moveset overall is very, very, very good. I think, like, the only bad thing about it is probably, like, the Uffy. I don't even think it's that bad. It's, like, before, I think it was kind of, like, an okay reference. Like, Joel did a couple of Sim streams, but now he's done the meme house stuff. I feel like the Sims reference fits even better now. Although I do kind of wish there was a second property to it that had him, like, summon Dio from that one animation where Dio's balling with the basketball.
What?
It'd be funny if, like, you could turn that into more of a meme house reference, but I mean, as is, it's fine, it works. And Joel having an obtuse recovery, it makes him distinct. I love all the desktop buddies mechanic. They kind of, the tree got a little bit nerfed, but otherwise all of them are pretty fine. They're pretty nice. I love how Bonzi Buddy can show up if you don't play Joel correctly. It's very goofy. I remember, like, the Pizza Handman was also really good. I love how that's, like, a double reference to two different things. It's very, very good. It's animated very well as well. I like it a lot. And what was the other thing? There's, like, the Bob Ross paintings. I'm kind of mixed on the Bob Ross paintings. I think they're fine. I think it's cool that we have another painting character to, like, draw stuff. They act more like a counter rather than, like, drawing a specific reference. So it kind of makes it a little bit weaker compared to Toon Waluigi. It's fine. But overall, I think he's pretty good, actually. I mean, like, all of his normals are really funny. They're very good. All of the references feel like they're on point. I think the only thing that actually is negative that I would say about it now is, and I know this is probably more of a personal preference thing, but I do feel like there is genuine criticism here. I'm not quite a fan of Joel's art style, and that might be weird to say because obviously he is based on, like, a certain animator's, like, style for animations and stuff. But as far as I'm aware, the creator is actually inactive right now. They don't make stuff anymore. And, you know, and it's kind of a little bit MS Painty. I mean, it's fine, it's simple, it's probably easier to work with. But, I don't know, I don't really feel like it represents Joel that well anymore. I kind of wish Joel got a resprite where he was changed to be more akin to Zor-El's animations. I feel like Zor-El has kind of just wormed his way into being, like, Joel's, like, animator in some ways. He's done a lot of personal animations for him. They've made a game together, basically, actually. Like, I forget what it was, the game with the mashing stuff. And Joel and Zor-El even made, like, a thing for Signal Simulator for Joel, like a BRB screen. So, I feel like there's definitely enough frames and animation to work with where you could probably replace all of his sprites with the Zor-El stuff if you wanted to. And obviously, like, you could replace the pizza and the things. Like, you could replace that with the actual, like, frames from the original videos and stuff. And you get a little bit creative here and there, but I think Zor-El's artistic rendition of Joel is probably a bit better at this point. But that's it's an artistic thing. I know it would be very hard to do, obviously. That would take a lot of work. Otherwise, I still think Joel is very good. I think he's very, very nice. Like that, the Zariel thing is like the only criticism I have really that's relevant at all. he's very, very well done. Also, Joel and Timmy's dad had a classic mode together, which was very cool. I actually love watching that. It was probably a lot of work to do, so good on you for that, Scout. All right, Irene. So I did just kind of do in a video Irene talking about her range stuff. I'm not gonna get too into that, but obviously if you've seen it. Being a dreamer, did I really not loop this music again? Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. There we go. All right. Yeah, Irene. She's a dreamer character. She's technically the first one outside of like, Jade, who she's more of a Homestuck character, but I still feel like it makes sense here. While I'm blacking out, where is Jade? Did I not? Oh no, she's there. I'm sorry. That would zone me out. Yeah. Irene's pretty good. I feel like, especially with the new adjustments to her moveset, she's a very good character now. She has like she has a much more range to work with. All her specials feel more complete. I like how the down B summons all the different chess pieces, and they all move in different directions. And I love how now if you slam down, it causes like a shockwave on either side. That was a good change as well. More range, obviously, but it makes it better for a smaller character. I also like the glow sticks mechanic. I love that. I think all of the glow stick moves, where she makes the big things around her, is very, very nice. It gives her she feels. That makes her more colorful, a lot like Madatsuki does. I feel like Yomika a lot of our moves have a same color palette, but so they kind of all blend together a little bit. But Irene looks nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any complaints. I think the final smash is also pretty good. And having a teleport recovery also it's interesting because Mato has a teleport recovery. But that's in her neutral B, and it functions more like a Zelda one, where it has a little bit of a staticky electric effect. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I think I'd also put her in so good at it. I think she's definitely gotten much better. There's definitely room for improvement in some of her range, little minor adjustments here and there. But overall, I think she's good. Oh god. It's a funny Metalhead. Metalhead, I don't know. This is a weird one to talk about. I feel like this is more of a. I feel like this is a character that will definitely change placement in a future video. I already talked about before. Bipper was the first mirror fighter, and this is the second mirror fighter. Before we got the whole mirror fighter centric video. And everyone seemed to really love Metalhead as a moveset concept. He's super slow, but he's super tanky. He's gonna get you. He's gonna pursue you. It's gonna be so awful. And he has a lot of funny tools. He can dislocate his head. It reminds me of Misfortune in Skullgirls. It's very funny. I like it a lot. And then the update patch happened, and then he kind of got super nerfed and broken apart. And then he got changed again in the update patch after that. And I don't really know if I'm qualified to talk about it. I know Cheesy thought the first nerf was really bad. It was, and that's why the whole second thing happened in the first place. I don't know if it fixed Metalhead exactly. I want to say it did. I don't think I feel like I do like the original moveset a lot more. I feel like there's just so much less. I think it was just perfect. I don't really feel like there was a reason to touch it that much. I mean, obviously, maybe there was something wrong with it and I didn't totally get it. But he seemed fine-ish. And he's got middle with. I don't know. It's like, it's a weird balancing thing to talk about. I'm not qualified to talk about it. But I like him. I think he's, the Metalhead is really cool. I think he is just better than Toon DK. Like, all the Toon DK cartoon characters are just, as long as it's not Donkey Kong himself, I feel like they're all, like, bound to be good. Yeah. Here's another, and then we got Hat Kid. Oh my gosh. So, Hat Kid's very complicated to talk about. Hat Kid has a very unique mechanic in that she can like, change her hats after certain special moves, and that changes all of her stats. It's such a cool idea. Now, obviously, she's a hit-and-run character, so if she gets, like, hit around too much, she's gonna lose that hat buff. But it's a cool idea. I really like it. And she's fast, but she also has, like, this decently good range with the umbrella attacks. You'll see some of her tilts and jabs. I like it a lot. You know, I know she's, like, from a platformer. So I assume that she wouldn't have that much material to work with. I don't know much about Hat Time, obviously. I never really played it. But she has a very well-made moveset. The side B, the funny scooter that shoots projectiles is funny. I like her neutral B a lot. I like that you can run around while charging it. It's very, very nice. The recovery is a little weird, but again, like, she's already got, like, so much, you know, movement as is, that having a recovery thing that makes her wait, it's not meant to be her primary recovery. You're meant to use, like, everything else, I imagine. She's pretty good. I like her a lot. I mean, I feel like I get crucified if I put her anywhere other than so good, right? Like, I'm not as familiar with her source, so I don't have as much to say about her, but I feel like most people unanimously agree that her moveset is very well made. Oh boy. Ready! Okay, I haven't... Reddy's a funny character to talk about. So, I love Reddy, just as a concept. I think he's very funny. Putting a character in that has, like, an identity crisis, so to speak. So he has a lot of, like, very complicated moves that do different things. He needs to summon his partners to follow up on these different combinations of attacks. It's very, very good. I feel like it's kind of, because he's so complicated, it's resulted in people not wanting to talk about him that much. People kind of said, like, yeah, no, he's probably crazy. He's probably broken. Let's just leave him alone in the corner and do his thing. And I think that's a shame, because I think Reddy's very funny. I do actually want to take on the hurdle of analyzing him outright. I really want to look at everything he has, and as, like, a special video in the future. I want to do that. I want to make it something I do. Because I think he is very crazy. I think he's actually really good. Obviously he's meant to be a little bit ridiculous on purpose. So, and you can't really judge him too much balance-wise if he is broken. But I think all the references seem pretty fitting. They're all very nice. And I like how well animated he actually is. I think that's one of the things I like about him. Like, he feels very well animated. He's very, very good. I like him a lot. He's also going in so good. I really like him. I'm gonna be real, he almost went in favorite tier. I think I'm gonna save that for the future. Whenever I do fully look at him, like, really taking everything he can do, then I might put him up there. So, but, you know, keep that in the back of your mind. Maybe you'll see Reddy more in the future. Alright. Zack and Tetris. This is a very funny character as well. From what I know, Zack was, like, originally in one of the old roster picture videos. And Scap thought it'd be really funny if, like, for a special video, she went back to the old animation style where everything was having a lot of issues visually, and just pretended he was, like, a character released back then. Animated the whole way. It was very funny seeing someone try to animate bad after animating so good for so long. I think Zach is pretty good. He got changed. He had a problem where, like, while he could place a lot of the funny Tetris blocks down, and he had a lot of, he could make a bunch of walls, he could, like, grab and stuff, but it was kind of hard to get them back, so eventually Scapus gave a thing where, oh, I'll just, like, you know, you can put them all in a box now, so you can pick them back up again. And that really helped him a lot, because he went from, like, you know, not being able to use all his Tetris blocks after placing them all, so no, now he can keep playing the game after he's placed them all. which is good. I like how he feels very different from the however you say, the Tetris character in Smash Bros. Crusade. It's very different, and I like that. It all makes sense, because he's made from, like, a cartoon that didn't actually exist. It was, like, a funny joke. He looks very, like, bootleggy. It definitely fits for this Lawl. It reminds me, like, it's like Toon Guy or Brush, but in a very different feel. I like it a lot. I think the one thing that people are still people still talk about a little bit is the voice. And I'm not gonna get into it, obviously. Originally, Zack and Tetris had a different voice that was based on the original shorts or the original video, and then Zack and Tetris got a new voice, voiced by, I forget their name. We'll probably put it up on screen. And some people don't like it, some people do. I personally think it had to happen, because again, like, you're using a character that came from a very limited source. There's only so many lines you can work with. And I feel like, you know, it's good that we have a different take on the character's voice. And we have more lines to work with. I feel like if we had, like, very little, Zack kind of felt a little bit empty. Like, it definitely hits in the original Moveset video where, like, after all those animations and attacks, he doesn't say anything for any of the KO lines. It's just like, oh, okay. I thought he had more than that. I do like the guitar riffs he had in his original voice. That's, like, the only thing I missed. Like, had that cheesiness to it. He sounds more whimsical now, but again, it's more of a taste thing. I think both are very good for very different reasons. I don't know if he's great. I think he's funny. Like, he's a cool idea, but he doesn't blow my mind or anything. Like, he's a Tetris character. He's kind of has elements that are what you'd expect. It's obviously because he's from a joke thing. He doesn't function the same way as, like, a Tetris character normally would. I think for right now, I'll put him in his knee. Maybe he'll go up. Alright, and second dimension Doof. And we're getting into the whole list of Echo Fighters now. There's a lot of them, so get ready for that. I'm gonna be real. Maybe it's just me, but the villain Echo Fighters don't really hit as hard as, like, the hero Echo Fighters. Outside of a few exceptions, we'll get to them. But second dimension Doof just feels I think especially because Doof was the first character ever made, and he's had, like, so much time to, like, grow and improve. Second dimension Doof is just like, he's cool, I guess. He's fine. He's, like, it makes sense. I like how he's different. The side V with the chair is goofy. The recovery is a little, I mean, it makes sense. Body work had to be there, but somehow it's just kind of weird looking. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way he's grabbing onto parry. Or paddleboard. I remember the Final Smash being really well animated. It looks good. I think that's a Final Smash that I think would be better if it was a cutscene Final Smash and not, like, something that just showed up. But, like, it's fine. You know, obviously you're working with a limited character to begin with. He's from the movies and stuff. He doesn't wow me or anything. I think he's neat. Like, he works. He's a different take on Doof, but he's not that crazy compared to these other characters. Obviously, a lot of these other Echo Fighters compared to, like, Bipper, they all do very different things. They're meant to be, like, very different. And second dimension Doof just doesn't feel that crazy. He's kind of whatever. Principal Amzy. I'm mixed on this character. I think she's kind of crazy, but I also don't know. Like, maybe she's a little bit too good. Like, I'm gonna first touch on like the first thing we talked on with Yzma and Kronk. The hammer move is ridiculous. Like, we thought like the Yzma's little hammer move was ridiculous, but like the amount of area Amzi takes up with those two hammers is ridiculous. Even if it's got nerfed and got to be slowed down, and now it has a tipper, it still feels a little bit ridiculous. It's a little crazy. It's a little nuts. Also, she has Zim Zam, which is her difference from Kronk. You know, I used to feel weird about Zim Zam because I like, oh, they're pretty cool. It's like, you know, the characters on both sides instead of just Kronk. They have the laser thing. She can recover a bit better with them. And then, you know, maybe the reason why I'm not sure if she's actually that crazy is because Kronk takes it's much quicker to summon compared to when she goes Zim Zam. It's like a little bit of a delay in the middle. So in exchange for having those two characters, she takes a little bit longer to summon them both. I think it's interesting. I mean, I think it definitely, it's cool. It's cool. I also just like that it's a very cool idea for an Echo fighter in general. I mean, a Mirror fighter. And a character from like the show. It's a very different like vibe. I also think she looks nice. I like her outfit a lot. Again, I think she might be a little ridiculous, but I think she's neat. I'm not sure. She might be more of a funny. She might be more of a so good. I genuinely don't know where to put her. She's like such a complicated character to talk about. She has a lot of funny moves, but she's also like kind of cracked in a lot of places. She's just weird. She's weird. Give me 1 second. Tea break. All right. Mike Vincent. Oh, we love Mike Vincent here, right?
I want your hide.
Oh my god. I think we can all agree that Mike Vincent stole a show, right? Of the villain mirror fighters, right? Mike Vincent's just like such a cool character. Obviously, he's meant to be a more simplified version of Captain N. And then Captain N got a patch to like make him also more simpler so people didn't have to play Mike Vincent. But let's be real. If there was a game, we would all still play Mike Vincent. Mike Vincent's great. He has so much charisma. All of his attacks just like they hit different. Something about it. Like he's just a very funny character personality wise. He's big, he's tall, he's goofy. And then just like I don't know what it is. Like something about him just hits different from Captain that makes you want to play him more or just like him more. He's just, and I think it's shown because Scap continues to use Captain. Instead of using Captain again, we've seen word of Mike Vincent a lot now, like in Moveset videos, in intros and stuff, like in the Koichi Moveset. That was really, really, really good. I love it a lot. Yeah, no, I think like Mike Vincent's perfect. He's a very, very good character. Whenever I eventually sort this out, I will put Mike Vincent probably high. He will go higher than Captain N. He's left his impact somehow, despite being not that crazy. People just love him. All right, and we have Game Gear. So I'm not. Game Gear's another one of the villain sets I'm not too crazy on, and I think it makes sense because even Scap said that, like, you know, there's not as much here to work with. But I like her design. Like I don't know what it is. Like she looks different from the other Sega girls. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. She has the sword move. She has the movement thing that makes her spin. She has the 3 balls thing that she can use to slow her descent and turn into a projectile, obviously. And then the recovery, which is a little weak. It's definitely a bit weak. I do hope it gets like I forget if it got buffed in the recent update patch. That's the one I don't really remember off the top of my head right now. I do kind of wish instead of having to aim solely downwards, you could angle it at an arc forward, kind of like it's shown in the inspiration clip. But other than that, she's not crazy. Like, I think I'd put her in, like, she's neat. Like, she's a good idea. I definitely am more interested in her outside of, like, the other characters. Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. Mustache Girl. Now this is like Mike Vincent. I actually really like Mustache Girl's moveset a lot. I don't know. I think it's just like naturally being way faster than Hat Kid by default, and just having better stats. Is cool. But I think what it is, it's like the field around her that slows things down. And using stuff from the boss fight is very cool. The creative use of her upbeat as a mirror fighter, I think it's a good idea. I really like it. But I think my favorite move might actually be like what was changed about the neutral B, whereas before it was kind of just like an explosion move on Hat Kid. It got changed to be a move that like pops you up. I like that a lot. I don't know what it is. I like moves that like when you throw something and it causes something to bounce you upwards. Like, that's such a cool effect. It's like the perfect combo starter move. I love it a lot. Masahiro Girl has this is very, very nice. I also think her voice is actually I'm not a big fan of Hat Kid's voice. That's more of a taste thing. Obviously, I haven't played the game. Maybe people find her adorable. Mustache Girl is definitely, I lean more towards her personally. I like her though. I like her. She's very, very, very good. She's very nice. I know if I would put her above Hat Kid, they're definitely two different like flavors of the same character, definitely. But they're very, very good. Leonard. So I actually recently did a matchup thing recently with Leonard. It was Leonard versus I think Nano from Lawl Dreams, and it made me realize Leonard's kind of good. Like, this is obviously before Leonard got. It was actually Leonard had already gotten his patch, although it didn't give him that much. It was what made me like realize is like the down B, and he can create like homing projectiles. I actually really like that effect a lot. It's really strong. Like, you can just hold it out, and then anything just gets turned into his own projectile that shoots out. It's like the absorption and like taking your projectiles for yourself effect that Sheldon had in his up B was turned to Leonard's down B, and I like that a lot. It's really, really cool. And it's a little strong because it just follows you back all full stage. Although I do think like the fact that it doesn't go away is like. Obviously, I think it should like shrink and like start to go away after a while, but I do like the idea that he's an anti-zoning character. I do like that a lot more. I hope that doesn't get, if there's another update patch, I hope it doesn't get nerfed. I like if someone's like zoning him out from full stage, he should be able to pull it out and like flick it back. But it shouldn't be able to like turn back around after it passes the full final destination and then start homing back as the character approaches him again, Like, once it goes full stage, it should start fading out and then it should go away, I also like he's also very green. Yeah, I love green, I'm sorry. I love green. So I'm naturally just gonna like him a bit more than Sheldon in some cases, but I think he still has his problems, especially like after the update patch where a lot of characters got super buff recoveries. His up B sticks out a lot more. Like, it's really it doesn't go very far, even if you can air dodge out of it. I do think it would be nice if he had more like Snake's up B, where he could hold onto it and then he would go up like about as far, and then he would let it go at like the height, and then it would stop and stay there. I do like the idea he can leave the thing behind as like a trap. He definitely has like a lot more tools than Sheldon has. He can keep around for longer, Whereas like Sheldon, he does like he throws his fishbowl or whatever. Yeah, I think he's actually really good. I definitely like. I was surprised we even got like another Echo Fighter for Big Bang Theory. I didn't think we would get any more representation from that show. But nope, he's here. He's good. Oh boy. CDI Impa. You can only win by falling. I'm dangerous. I love her so much. CDI Impa is just amazing. She's incredible. I love her so much. She's great. I've always liked CDI Impa more as like a joke in YouTube videos. Honestly, it's just because I like old people in things in general. They're very funny. But I don't know what it is about CDI Impa specifically that's very funny. All of her taunts are hilarious. Her victory screen is great, and I like her. It's also the dark blue, and her design makes her pop a lot more than CDI Zelda. Unfortunately, as much as I love CDI Impa, I feel like her being an Echo Fighter, a Mirror Fighter, has definitely limited her potential for me a little bit. Because she's a Mirror Fighter, that means you can't really. Her whole gimmick is that she's meant to copy moves Zelda does, like the old sword slashes and like magic attacks that Zelda would probably do. Those just get turned into a tilts and stuff that Zelda would have had. And I like it. I think for that, I don't want to be too critical. I think for this idea that you're going for, perfect. She turns out great. I love her a lot. I have no complaints. She definitely has a lot more range than Zelda. Like, I love all the fists she can make, like the attacks and boss things she can summon. But I don't know. I do kind of wish we had stuff she used. Like, I wish even if it was just like her smash attacks, right? Like, I wish she would use stuff from the various like CDI YouTube videos, like. I know I talk about CDI Gunfight a lot, but I love the scenes in CDI Gunfight made by both like multiple creators.
The Triforce of Wisdom promises
you will die.
And I also just like, I feel like there's this like potential for like Impa being lost by her being a Mirror Fighter. Like, I like the funny quips she has. Like, she's clearly like toying with you. She's having a good time. Like, she's joking around in her taunts and her victory screen. But I feel like the badass grandma angle that people often use. She's either like the butt of the joke, like being like knocked around as like a comedy character in CDI YouTube videos, or she's being a badass because it's funny for the grandma to be a badass. And that's unfortunately not really there in the moveset. That won't make me go, more negative on her, obviously. I feel like if I docked her for that, I would be doing her a disservice. This is more, I do feel like, I think she still probably goes in my favorite, maybe. I don't think she's as high as she once was. Maybe I would put her back down, I don't know. She's definitely missing some elements that I would like to see in her. But I still like her. I still like her a lot. Obviously, CDI character bias. ASDF Girl is basically just more ASDF references you probably weren't able to get in the first video. There you go. I mean, let's be real, like, she's perfect. Like, she's basically just more ASDF. I don't really think I need to say much more beyond that. Like, I might honestly just put them together. I don't know. I forgot I put ASDF guy on my favorites. I don't know. I feel like she is just more of the same jokes, but also different, obviously. She's an Mirror Fighter. She is just more of the same. I don't think I can really, like, explain more than that. She's definitely the simplest character here to talk about. Eclipsa. Eclipsa is really good. She definitely feels the most different. I think out of all the mirror fighters, I keep calling them Echo fighters, I'm sorry. She definitely feels the most different. Especially in how the wand gimmick was changed to be like a projectile that evolves and changes. Depending on like the stages and such. It's such a cool idea. And I also like how I like her recovery definitely a bit more as like a parasol that she falls down with. Yeah, no, she's good. I don't really have much to add on her as well either. I just think she is just weirdly just nicer. I'd like her a lot more. I know I will definitely put Star Butterfly up a bit higher. I feel like you know, I was convinced, but I still feel like I would put Eclipsa a bit higher. I don't know what it is. I just like her a lot more. She just feels like she has a lot more of a cool moveset, obviously. Oh god. So 60s Batgirl. So this is a character that I haven't really thought about. When I first did the first draft of this video, I kind of didn't really have much to add to her. And I'm regretting I didn't do that before. Now I'm glad I'm doing this again, because, oh my god, she's a little bit ridiculous. I always knew that 60s Batgirl was like it was definitely like a high tier, like really strong. Even I remember like whenever we were just kind of like starting to talk about 60s Batgirl for a matchup, I think even Cheesy said like, yeah, she's okay, she's not that crazy. And normally I kind of back off when Cheesy's like, oh, you know, I don't think it's that good. Hold on a second, because Cheesy's very smart when it comes to competitive stuff. But even I was like, I don't know, man. I think she's kind of good. Like, I remember being a little bit ridiculous. And then we watched the moveset again for the matchup. And we kind of, like, I feel like both of us, not just Cheesy, but even I was surprised. Oh my god, 60s Batgirl is fucking broken. She is a little ridiculous. I feel like this isn't Scap's fault, though, entirely. This was the era before Steve. We didn't really know if like having a lot of traps on the stage would be a little bit overpowered. And normally, like, I feel like it's a case-by-case basis with characters. If they can put down more than 2 things on a stage, it's not always going to be broken. It just depends. It just depends on how big it is. Like, for Steve, he could put down, like, a whole wall of blocks, obviously. 60s Batgirl can put down the tape. It's almost as big as a platform. It can basically take up all of ledge. And then she can put down 2 bags that hang from the ceiling. Or not ceiling, but they can just hang. And that's just like, oh my god, there's like no way around it. And then she can put down like the smoke thing to do more residual damage. And then, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh no! It's a nightmare. It's like, I don't know how. I mean, again, obviously Steve hadn't come out at this point, so we weren't really like insane. We didn't really know how bad it was, but. And she even got her update patch already. She didn't really get changed much at all. We just didn't notice it at the time, like how insane she was. And yeah, no, I feel like she's like probably one of the best characters in the roster, right? Like, we haven't really gone back and do a whole full tier list video again. Or full tier list on like the roster as a whole. Neither has Cheesy, but oh my god, she's ridiculous. I also feel like this is another one of the videos where like the music choice was just very bad. Like it's very repetitive. It's very grating. It's like, oh, I forgot how bad it was. Like, it's one of those cases where like I feel bad because like I like her design a lot. I think, like, you know, she's a cool idea. Like, you know, obviously Batman without Robin, using the mechanics of like captors like you would use on her as like part of her moveset is very funny. I like it a lot. But there are so many things going against her. Like, even like as like a like I think it's just like, you know, I think conceptually she's not bad. I'm gonna say that right now. I think conceptually she's not bad at all. It's just like, oh my god, she's a bit too ridiculous. I think she would definitely like go high here as well. And if she got patched, obviously I would elevate her back up. But yeah, no, she's a little bit too crazy. She also, I think, I might be misremembering, but I think she even has like Perry's grappling hook. I might be forgetting this. So that's like another thing. She's just really ridiculous. And she's I mean, she's obviously meant to be good, I get it. But some things definitely do feel a little bit too overtuned, and I don't want to be. I know, I apologize if I have been a little bit too critical, obviously. This is all meant to be, like, you know, feedback and stuff, obviously. I'm not trying to be too negative, but yeah. She would definitely go up after some like, patches, but as is, she's a little bit ridiculous. Planty the Potted Plant. I don't really know what to say. he is a potted plant with the grapple move, and he just can latch onto anything and fly around. I actually don't know how good he is. I don't think we've ever really discussed him before in a moveset video context, like where we just like match him up against someone. Like, he's not really someone we talk about. I forget he's here sometimes because I think he is just meant to be a joke, because he was an extra like thrown in because he's beyond simple. I don't know where would I put him. Is he a vest character? Is he funny? Is he? I guess I'll put him in funny. I don't think he's that crazy. I don't think he's that fun. I think it's cool that we Scout committed to the vid and just added a potted plant to Lawl, just like mere piranha plant and smash. I think it's funny in that context. But yeah, I think he is just meant to be like a silly joke. Right? Pingu! Pingu's another moveset I don't really think of that much, unfortunately. I don't know what it is, maybe because I didn't grow up with Pingu personally. But I went back and watched the moveset. It's not bad. It's not bad. Having a moveset that uses a lot more ice mechanics is actually, you know, it's good. I feel like we don't have after Elsa, we didn't get too much of that. So I'm glad that we got someone here to do that. I like how he can put down like the ice patches on the stage, and that will affect his sled, which is good because I feel like without being able to put down ice patches, a lot of his stuff would definitely like not work at all. Clearly there was some thought put into this to make him a little bit more like, he's a very simple character, but there's definitely like some tools he can do. Oh, motorcycle just went past my house. He can put down I forget what the down B thing where he slings down a thing that slides around and it can bump into stuff. It's very silly, it's very goofy, I like it a lot. Yeah, I mean, he's not too crazy. I think he's meant to be a simple moveset. He's just meant to, he's Pingu. He does what he do. I'm not too wowed by him. I think he would still go high up here. But I think, like, you know, just, you know, a nice moveset is still very nice. I haven't said it yet outside of like a comment section in one video, but I do think I actually like Elsa more than Pingu as like a nice character now. I forgot how much Elsa got changed. But I'm glad we have more than one to compare her with now. One more drink. Maybe. Alright. Hopefully I don't need another one. I want to finish this. Alright, worms. Funny worm. Oh my god, I'm glad I rewatched this moveset because I forgot like how many things this character had. Worm's just interesting. It's like a character that's a little arsenal character with a shield special where he can change like his specials around to like other ammunition and do different things. And the stronger it is, the less ammo he has where it has to recharge. I really like it a lot. It for a tiny character to have so much stuff, he's kind of like really overwhelming. And he has some good normals as well. I do feel like being a small character, if he had like too many strong normals, he would get a little ridiculous really fast. But he's like, they all move him around, but he's not that crazy. I do wonder how balanced he is. This is why I don't want personally like a Leonard to be nerfed, because I feel like if the worm leading so much into the projectile game makes him interesting in my opinion, because then you have to like play around it. And a character that has a reflector, he kind of just turns into like Mega Man, like a tiny bit, just a little bit. Where Mega Man has like a lot of projectiles and stuff. But Worm has even more of them. Worm has even more of them on top of like good melee moves on top of that. They're okay, they're not crazy. It's just mainly the projectiles he wants to be using. So having reflectors and stuff means like how does that balance back against the Worm? How does he have to react to that? How does the other characters have to react to that? There's a lot to think about. With balancing this character. I do think it's cool that he's so tiny. he's a very tiny little dude. I like him a lot. I also like how in the Moveset video you get to see like all the other characters as worms in the inspiration clips. That was very cute. I really love that a lot. I actually think he's really good. I think he's a very cute concept. I like him a lot. Yeah, no. I don't mind him. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Tunur. This is a fun... So... How crazy is Tunur? I feel like he's another character who's secretly super ridiculous. I don't remember how much he got changed in the FD patch, so I might be misremembering. But I feel like he was good. He was like really good. Like being able to use 3 moves, 3 of your cards. I mean, to get rid of all your cards, and just do like a giant amount of percent. And then on top of that, he has so much movement. Like he has a lot of movement. It's kind of easy to forget like how much this character can move around on stage, and the damage he can make up for it. And then the coconut move was just crazy on top of that. He has a lot of like pressure. And I think he's meant to be a zone breaker. I forget what like the moveset playstyle was meant to be. But he's really good. He's really, really good. I also like all the mixture of references that were able to be snuck into his moveset. I think the dance thing is very funny a lot. I hope we get to see another video in the future of like every character's dance. I like it a lot. I don't know much about the source, honestly. I'm like a half Kingdom Hearts fan now, I would say. I'm semi interested, but I'm not super crazy about it. But I like how goofy this character is. He's a little janky in animation, but that's definitely meant to be the point, and I love that a lot. Is he so good though? I think I'll put him in he's neat for right now, just because I feel like this is the era where movesets start getting really crazy. And at this point, like, I think all of these 5 after here are like just way better than Tunur. Respectfully, I'm just gonna say that respectfully. Like, they are just really, really, really well made. Tunur, he's a little weird and a little broken in some places. He's a little crazy. He's funny, I would say. But these 5 characters, these are a tier above that. So I forget the name of this character exactly, but he is meant to be the Bigfoot based on like the GTA hoaxes and stuff. And this is a cool character to see just randomly added, because apparently this is a character that was in development for a couple years. And I had just seen a stream talking about these hoaxes. It was like by Sockpens, the RTVS crew, and they did a whole stream like going over a bunch of mysteries and stuff.
I've never seen this before.
What the fuck? We beat the whole fucking game.
What the? What is that? What?
So seeing like the character just got randomly added to Law Nova based on all of those concepts was so cool. I love that. Like, I felt rewarded for actually like knowing every single hoax that was represented, and they were all really well done. Basing the character around like a stage control playstyle was interesting. And this is like this is obviously meant to be more of a defensive character, but he's a very different kind of defensive character. He has a lot of different tools from the other like zoners and stuff that makes him distinct. I love that. He feels like Scap revisiting the defensive character concept and in a different light and just making it really good, like making it good but balanced. He doesn't feel that crazy, and he's also very well animated for a character which you know, I didn't know how many like actual real sprites or animations or like resources or models this character would have, but everything looks great. He has a very polygonal art style. He looks really good. I love him. I think he's very, very good. I like him a lot. Hugh. Okay, Hugh's really good. Hugh's another great character that I'm very glad is here. He was meant to be the rival of Timmy's dad. At this point, I think Hugh was revealed for Nick All-Star Brawl 1 as DLC. And people were wondering, oh, like, can you do Hugh? Are you sure you can do that? And Scap's like, yeah, you know, I think I still have a good idea for Hugh. And I'm glad Scott decided to still go ahead with the moveset, because I think it's very good. I actually like his moveset a bit more than Nazi 1 in some aspects. Hugh time is like such a funny intro for it's such a good, so good. And then all of his smash attacks, I will live with the pies. And then like I love how he has a lot of more interaction with the ducks. I feel like that was something that was missing in the Nazi 1 moveset. Obviously they're a little bit jankier there, but he just feels more complete here. I like it a lot. I love how he can. There's a lot of material for Hugh, where more references were able to be fit in. Like the thing that reverses like a character's action is such a strong tool for a character to have. It's very funny. So good. And the final smash is like perfect. The Shadow Realm Jimbo. I'm very glad that Scat was able to work in the episode that was based on it into like an actual reference to the joke, the meme. Obviously, Nick All-Star Brawl could not do that. They could not like make a Yu-Gi-Oh joke. Let's be real. So being able to do that in Law Nova was very great. I love it a lot. I will say, personally speaking, I do feel like out of these 5, he probably ranks like dead last in terms of the characters I like most. But that's because like, you know, all these characters are just really good. These are very great concepts. Next one, we have Masahiro Sakurai. This is such a good. Adding Sakurai to Law is funny. He feels like a character that would be a boss in like anything else, but Law, him just being a character makes sense. Like he's on even playing field with everyone here. All these weird character ideas. I love how the video was like Scat like giving a presentation like Masahiro Sakurai's presentations. It was very, very good. It was very charming. I love it a lot. And I feel like at this point, he's number 473, obviously. At this point, Law Nova has been going on for a while. And I feel like it had been so long since we had gotten a live-action character. Having another one like this was so nice. One of the reasons why I love live-action characters is how they bring in other like things like menus and clips and stuff for like attacks and stuff to make up for the fact they're stubby and they're limited in how they can animate. And Sakurai does that perfectly. I love all of his like tilts so much. And I also love all the references that were able to be sneaked into his moveset. The Nerf gun, like how he can make an Echo Fighter. I think that move is a little bit weird. Like I feel like just because not every character has an Echo Fighter and they just get turned into a grayed out version of themselves, it's a little I'm not crazy about that part specifically, but everything else is great. And then like the uppy, how it's Lilac Cruise. Like at first it's like a funny reference to like Smash fans. Like, oh, it's funny how I've been Lilac. And then also like but then you're kind of like, I mean, like, it's a very specific joke. Sakurai probably doesn't know about that. And then it gets turned into like a mini reference to the credits in Smash Bros. Ultimate, where you can like fly on it and then like attack on the thing and shoot and stuff. It's like, oh, it's such a good use of like a joke and an actual thing. That's like what I love. That perfect mixture in CDI characters is like perfect. It's awesome. It's great. That's what I want to see. That perfect like, harmony of like a Lawl character is very, very good. Sakurai's already doing fantastic. And then that awesome final smash. That is like probably one of the best final smashes Lawl Nova has.
In this cinematic and straight-to-the-point final smash, Sakurai will carry the opponent upwards and attack him with the help of all of the final bosses in Super Smash Bros.
I feel like a lot of Lawl Nova final smashes were kind of repetitive. They kind of had a lot of the same vibes. That one was great. We need more cinematic stuff like that. It looks so good. What a great use of like a character that was obviously like the live action. There's very limited things you can do. It's very, very good. Also, Brawl Zone. I love that. I love like the little thing he does, with like the hands and the box he can create where you just trip around, and to make sure that's not too, it's actually effective and it's not like too weak. It increases your weight, so you will always fall down. Not your weight, but your fall speed. That's such a good idea. I love that so much. Ah, my god, I love it. Sakurai is like such a well done character. I love him a lot. He's definitely going in so good. And whenever I eventually make the next tier above for like exceptional characters, I think Sakurai definitely deserves to be up there. These next two, Bart and Koichi. They're two peas in a pod. You know, I think Bart is similar to Toon Sora in some ways, where I think Bart's actually a little bit broken. Like, he feels like Perry in a lot of ways, where he's a little bit taller than Perry, just a tiny bit. And he has like a projectile, he has a lot of movement options. And he has the stun thing. Like, he can be such an annoying little shit. He is so Bart. It's a very Bart moveset. It's very perfect. But like, then you see all his normals and like the playstyle origins, and he has some really insane range actually. Like, he is actually like kitted out. Like, Bart is not fucking around. I think he might actually be maybe better than Seymour Skinner. Like, he might actually be. I don't know. I think also the final smash is perfect. It was very well done as well. I love that. It's so good. Also, all of his ults are very, very nice as well. I didn't mention, actually realized I mentioned for Sakurai, I'm not a fan of all of the team color ults. They all look kind of very samey. But other than that, they're all very good. All of Bart's are perfect. They're all great. I love them. Yeah, I think Bart was like a great second Simpsons character for a long Nova. And this was like, you know, I think I still partially prefer Seymour just a little bit, just because he's like a funny dude. But Bart's really, really good as well. I really like him a lot. He's definitely a little bit insane. He's a little bit ridiculous. But I like him. I think he's very well. He's very, very good. Just a little careful balancing him. Koichi. This is the most recent Lawl Nova moveset as of right now. You know, Koichi's a very perfect for this Law. Like, I think, like, I don't know what it is. Like, he is just feels so perfect. I think this was, like, the moment where everyone was like, yeah, I know, like, I think Lawl Nova is, like, definitely one of the best Laws out there right now. This moveset is so good. Just like all like the onomatopoeia that can be spread across the stage that do different things, like the bounce or like the, oh my gosh. And then he has a little wind box thing he can do. How his like stand can like upgrade and change stances. Oh my god. Yeah, like Koichi's great. Also, his final smash is hilarious. Let's kill the whole. Is so good.
master. Let's kill the whole.
Let's kill the whole.
Oh my god. You know, it makes me sad we haven't gotten many more JoJo characters in Law. I imagine it's very tough to, like, do. It's very, very hard. I know Dio is eventually going to happen for Law Beatdown. We're still waiting on it. It's probably going to be a thing that'll happen in a special video. But, wow. You know, I think Koichi is definitely, like, such a perfect little guy. He's also very funny. He's very goofy. I'm definitely putting him in so good. Gosh, we are finally done with Law Nova. Except we're not, because it's still going. So I will probably have to make another video in the future talking about those movesets. So that'll be fun. Wow, like, Law Nova is so, it's had such an awesome journey. I think all of these movesets have turned out very, very good. All these characters are great. No real bad characters here. God, my head hurts. I've been going for so long. I guess, like, I'll say the next video I probably will release for this tier list. I will make a new tier and sort some special characters up there. And I will also, actually, maybe I'll save that video for sorting the Law Nova characters as well. We'll see. Then I'll resort any characters I feel like need resorting. Yeah. And also, I think I might get rid of the Not My Thing tier. I don't think you need this. I think, like, I can rank these characters appropriately, I feel like. And next up, we have Throw Some Law Z. This is like an interesting law. So obviously Law, it's 2 Lawls and 1 technically now, and there's a very weird influx with 2 different types of creators mixing in here. It's a very interesting character picks, and it's also still going. So maybe another moveset will be out by the time I get to this. Who knows? But I think for now I will cut it here. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. This was very, very hard to do. I'm probably gonna hopefully take a little bit before I get to the next Throw Some Law Z, but there's not as many characters here, so we'll get there. We'll get there in due time. But for now, you all have a wonderful night now, or day. Bye-bye.